Hey, what's up everyone? In this video, I will show you how to create accordions in React. So by the end of this video, you will have a UI looking like this. And there are a few things which we need to keep in mind before starting to code for this one. So the first thing is, the first accordion should always be open by default when the page loads. If you click some other accordion, then the one which is open should be closed first, and only one accordion should be open at a time. So if I click the third accordion, the first one is now closed and we can only see the third accordion. When the accordion is open, we should be able to see the description, but when the accordion is closed, it should only show us the title. One more thing is, if the accordions are closed, then we should be able to see the down arrow to open it, and when the accordion is open we should be able to see the up arrow. So we need to manage the state for that as well, and we are going to manage some state for opening and closing these accordions. So by the end of this video you will have this UI. So let's get started. So for this video I'm going to use Code Sandbox, and you will find the link of this sandbox in the description box below. So I've already added a file, constants.js, which contains a list of objects where every object has an ID, the title, and the description. And I've named it as accordion items, and I have exported it as well. So I'm going to import this inside my app.js file, and I want to loop over this array. So let's use curly braces. I'm going to make use of the map method, and I want to have a wrapper which is going to be a div element, inside which I will have, so let's give it a class name first. This is going to be accordion, and this accordion is going to have two other elements, two other children. The first one is the div tag again, but this is going to be the header. All right. Then we are going to have another one, and this is going to be the description. Accordion desk, that's fine. Inside the header, I want to show the title and the button which we are going to use to open and close the accordion. So there will be a title, and let me add item in here so we can extract the title using this. So we can see all the 5 titles we have, and the other one is going to be a button. Which is going to say show at first. Then we want to have the description, so let's have a paragraph element, item dot description. Okay, so now we can see all the information we wanted to have, and we must be getting an error in here. Let's check in the console. Cannot assign read-only property. Okay, it should be the previous error before adding all the code. But there has to be a warning, and somehow I'm not able to see it here. But okay, forget about it. The error is we haven't added the key for this one because we are looping through an array using the map function, and we should be giving a key to the parent element. So let's add a key, and it's going to be item.id. Okay, let me close this one. Okay. Now let's add some styles. Let's make it look more beautiful for us. And we know that we have the accordion class. I want it to have a border of 2 pixels. Then I want it to have a margin of 20 pixels. It should have a padding as well of 10 pixels. Then Let's add a display property to display flex. This doesn't look nice because we have to add the display direction as well, which is going to be column. This is fine for the accordion class. Now let's add some styles for the accordion header. So let's use the display property again because we want the button and the title to be in the same row. Then use justify content and do space between, so they both will be in their respective corners. So we wanted to have the title on the left side and the button on the right side. Now the button doesn't really look nice, so let's add align items and make it center. Okay, then fine for this one, I guess. Let's add some styles for accordion description, accordion desk. That's it. Let's add a display property for this one as well. Text align should be left, and I think this is fine. Okay, now this is going to do the job for now. Now I want to make sure that I have the record of the current active accordion. So the instructions I told you in the beginning of the video, that the first accordion should always be open at first. Okay, in the beginning the first accordion should always be open by default. So let's import use state hook because we are going to manage some state. Use state, and I'm going to define a state variable, and let's name it current. It has its function to change the value, and the initial value I want to give. So this current state variable is going to have, it's going to hold the ID of every element. So the ID which I want to pass at first is going to be 1. The reason I'm saying this because we have these accordion items and the first object has the ID 1, and we want the first accordion to be open at first in the beginning, and that's why in the initial value should be 1, and then we can change it later when we click on this button. Okay, and let's add a handler for this one. Okay, but let's manage how we are going to hide the description based on the value we have in the current state variable. Okay, so let's define two other classes. We should be having the show class, and we are going to use the display property, and for this one we are going to show the content. Then the other class is going to be hide, and for this one we are not going to show anything, so display is set to none. Okay, so at first we are going to assign this class to along with accordion description class. Okay, so at first let's make it dynamic. Let's name it dynamically. So accordion desk is going to be there always, but I want to add another class based on the value we have in the current state variable and based on the ID of the accordion. So let's say if the accordion is open, that means the ID which is stored in the current state variable in here is equal to the ID this accordion holds. Okay, so let's add this condition. If current is equal to item.id, that means this is the condition which satisfies uh, the situation where the accordion is open. Okay, so if this is the case, I want to add the show class. Okay, this is not the case, I want to add the hide class. Okay, now you can see that all the other accordions are now closed and only the first one is open. The reason is this holds the value 1, and this accordion, the ID of this accordion is 1. So this satisfies the condition, and hence it has this class show appended to it. Okay, now nothing is going to happen if I click on these buttons because we haven't added the logic to handle this state management. Okay, so let me add the handle toggle, and this is going to take an argument which is going to be the ID. Okay, so now let's say if the accordion is already open and I click the show button, okay, I click the button, then it should be closed. Okay, if the same accordion is open and if I click the same button, that means the existing open accordion should be closed and nothing else should happen on that page. Okay, if that is the case, then we should be able to add a condition if current is equal to ID. Okay, then set current. Okay, now we want to have the ID which does not exist in the list. Okay, and it's better to have 0 because the ID start from 1 and maybe for now we have only 5 accordions. What if we have hundreds of them? So we are obviously not going to give a value which is greater than 0. So let's give it 0. And if I set it to 0, that means the ID does not match with anything. And that's why all the accordions will be closed. At least the existing one will always be closed. Okay, and if this is not the case, if I click anywhere else, then if I click, let's say first one is open, I click this button, then this will be closed because the set current will be set to 0. Okay, if this is open and if I click the third accordion, then this should be closed, but this should now be opened. Okay, and hence I have to add some logic in here. So if this is the case, the set current should be equal to the ID which is provided to us. So handle toggle is done, and I want to add this to the on click event, and we need to pass the ID, the item ID in here. So let's use the arrow function, handle toggle, let's pass the ID. Okay, now if I click this show button, this is now closed. Okay, if I click this one, this is open, but now the second one is open. If I click the fifth one, the second one is closed, but the fifth one is now open. Okay, so this is the best way we can have, probably one of the best ways to have accordions and manage their state. So this is now done. Now it doesn't make sense to have this text as show when the accordion is already open. Okay, we should be able to change it. So let's change its value dynamically. Okay, let's add the same condition. If current is equal to item.id, then let's have the value as show. Okay, if not, then let's have the value as hide. Did I make a mistake? I did the opposite, I guess. Okay, this works fine. Hide, show, hide, show. Okay, this now works fine, but it doesn't really look nice to have the show button. We should be having some icons to make it look more beautiful. But yeah, the purpose of this video is now fulfilled, that we have the working accordions, which where the first accordion is always open in the beginning, and when we click on other accordions, then that accordion opens and the existing opened accordion is closed. So this is the working functionality we have. Okay, so let's add some styles, but before that I want you to use these React icons, and I'm going to import some icons from here. So I want to have the down arrow, and I'm going to make use of this one. Okay, so we can just import it using this statement, and we can use it like this, like a normal component. But for you, I've already installed the React icons library in the sandbox, but when you will be using it for the first time, you will get a warning or an instruction in here to install this one. but I've already installed it, so I won't be getting it. But do make sure that you install the React icons library. Then I'm going to use this one in here. So instead of having this button, I want to have the icons. Let's add the div tag. Inside this, I will be having these icons. Okay, so just like we have the FA caret down icon, we have the FA caret up icon as well. FA caret up. Okay, let's now use it in here by specifying the same condition. Okay, so if current is equal to item.id, then I want to show the up icon. FA caret up. If the accordion is closed, then I want to show the down icon. All right, and here we can see it. Okay, so this one is open, that's why we get to see the up icon, and nothing's going to happen because I haven't added the on click handler for this one. Okay, so let's add it in here. On click handle toggle pass item.id. Okay, if I click this one, this is going to be closed. Yeah, this now looks fine. Okay, we can now remove this, and I want to add some more styles to it. Okay, so let's come to style.css and let's define a new class, active. So the active class is for the one which is open. So its border will be 2 pixels solid dark slate blue. Its color is going to be the same, which is dark slate blue. Okay, I want the header to have some font size, which should be 16 pixels. I think that is fine. Maybe accordion header won't have it. Let me add it to accordion header to the h2 tag. All right, so this is 16 pixels, and I want the paragraph to have the font size as well, maybe 14 pixels. Okay, let's make it 17 so we should be able to see it. Okay, now the accordion should have some border radius as well. Border radius of 5 pixels maybe, and I'm going to add some transition duration, so we should be able to see the styles applying to it slowly. 700 milliseconds, that should be fine. Okay, now I have to add this active class dynamically for the accordion, so let's do it the same way we did for the accordion description. Okay, so accordion is always going to be there. Okay, and let me use this logic. So if current is equal to item.id, then it's going to be active. If not, then nothing will be there. And I think I've done something wrong in here. Okay, it should be inside this one, or not. Active. Okay, I have done something wrong. Let me do it all over again. Accordion. Okay, and let's add this logic. If current is equal to item.id, then let's append the active class. If not, let's leave it be. Okay, this is how it looks now. Okay, if I click this one, it has all the styles. So this is how the accordion looks like. And let's add a pointer for the icon as well. So I'm going to add the inline styles for this one. Let's not have a new class. Okay, and the cursor is going to be pointer. Okay, yeah, you can see the pointer. Yeah, so now we have the working functionality of the accordion, and it looks decent, if not beautiful. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.